Morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's wait for a couple of minutes till others join in.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, Let others join in, then I'll start.
Yes, sir. They are being uploaded, sir.
Yeah. Monday morning, I think it is difficult to attend early morning class, right? Okay. So let's begin. I'll start once again from basics of HTML, what we learned in this one. So let us start with a new program. Let us see a program and then go back to the theoretical part. So what we'll do is couple of things to clear here. Um, HTML doesn't require any specific dedicated IDE. You can use any of the IDEs or even the simple applications like Notepad or WordPad or Notepad plus plus to the IDEs. Which were the IDEs which you used in used for Java and advanced Java? Did you specifically use any IDE for advanced Java?
So NetBeans.
Yes. So NetBeans is a dedicated IDE for Java. Uh, so you can develop a HTML program in NetBeans also. You can develop a HTML program in small Notepad also. Here, what we are doing is we'll use different applications, but predominantly we'll use Notepad plus plus since it is easy to use and easy to debug, easy to understand, demarcate the code. So we'll use the Notepad plus plus. It is a freeware easily available. You can download it if you haven't. So what the first step what you're supposed to do is Whenever you open a new application, save it. Always before typing anything, what most of us do is first type everything and after we forget to save it. So first let us save it. I'll give a name as sample. No need to give the extension as far as Notepad Plus is concerned. It automatically takes the extension if we specify what is the file type. So yeah, I'm specifying the file type as hypertext markup language and then file name as sample. And then I'm storing it in somewhere in the temp folder which is on the desktop. So for Word or for Notepad, you need to give sample.html as the extension. But here in this case, .html. But here in this case, Notepad++, you need not give any extension. It automatically gives extension. In case if you specify, save as type. And specified, make sure this is hypertext markup language. Save this. See here, you can see here sample.html has come. Now, one by one, let us include the four important component tags. What is the first tag? First tag is HTML. The moment you include HTML, see here, the moment you have saved it as HTML file, the tags are being recognized and they are being shown in blue color. Suppose if I take another file and then if I type HTML, tags won't be recognized. It will be the black color only. Now we want the tags to be recognized. So here you can see. So the moment you create a HTML opening tag, don't forget to create a HTML closing tag. It will reduce the errors. So I'll take it to the next slide. So we have got opening HTML tag and then the closing HTML tag. So what is the next tag we need to have for this one? We need to have the head tag. So the moment you create an opening head tag, create a closing head tag as well. So you can see here, the moment I click, it shows the opening tag and the closing tag also in Notepad++. This facility is not available in Notepad or Word. So from that point of view, use Notepad++. So this is the opening HTML tag, opening and closing head tag. Now inside this one, we have got the title tag. Don't forget this sequence. Now, give the opening, tag, closing, title tags. So I can give sample. Let us give a title as sample HTML program. Right? Once this is done, we need to insert another tag. Anybody remembers which is another tag? Basic tag?
Body.
Body tag. So body tag should be, now you can see here, title tag should come within the head tag, which should come within the HTML tag. Another tag is the body tag, which should be inside the HTML tag, but outside the head and the title. Always remember this sequence. Don't get confused over here. So there are four tags: HTML tag, head tag, title tag, and then body tag. All the tags, head, title, and body tag should be inside the HTML tag. First point to remember. Title tag comes inside the head tag. Body tag is inside the HTML tag, but outside the head and title tags. So this is supposed to remember over here. So I'll just save this program. This becomes the basic structure of our program. I'll just save this, save as. It is already saved, so save option is not being displayed. Control S is the save shortcut. Now there is an option called as run. I hope you are able to see this here. There is a tab called as run. Now you can see run the program. Launch in Firefox. Since this is a HTML program, it is to be run in the browser, any of the browsers. So it gives all the options for the browsers which are installed on your system. There is option for Firefox, there is option for Explorer, there is option for Chrome, and then there is option for Safari. Now, Safari has been uninstalled, so it is not showing. Let us check with Chrome. So the moment I say Chrome, it automatically gets opened in the Chrome. Now, but since we have not given any contents over here, will not show any contents over. Now, we are supposed to give a content over here. As we have seen in this one. Welcome to HTML. So, specify this and then again go to the, from here only I can say run and then launch it. So, you can see here, you'll get an option called as what? Welcome to HTML program. Close the Chrome. If I want to open it in any other browser, you can see output will remain same. Let us try to open an Internet Explorer. So here, you can see in Explorer also, it is showing as what? You can see welcome to HTML program. Here our default browser is Firefox. So let us try to open and check in Firefox also. There also it opens. Now try to add some more text. I'll just say some more text. See here, any additions, any text which is to be displayed should be inside the body tag, not anywhere else. So run, save this, run this. You'll see. Here. See here. There is no new line maintained over here. We'll see how to maintain a new line. Welcome to HTML program. Some more text. So close this one. Again, go back to our program. So this is what we have seen. So this is the basic structure of a program. Always remember this: opening HTML tag, closing HTML tag. How to differentiate between the tags or elements. Opening will be like this. Closing will be followed by a slash. Then opening head tag and then the closing head tag. You can see there is a slash in the closing head tag. Opening title tag and then closing title tag. What is the use of title tag? It will give the title to your program. Now you can see here what is the title we have given: sample HTML program, which you can see here. Sample HTML program. If I change this, just remove sample HTML. What I'm supposed to do, go to the program. I have not refreshed this. Refresh. Now you can see sample HTML, which comes over here. This is what is the basic tag. Now again a Viva question: what are the basic tags of the HTML? Now we saw the previous class. I think we were discussing regarding, yes, basic HTML tags, and then you have got the meta tags. So there is a tag called as the meta tag. So how to use that meta tag? You can see the point is there is as and when we discuss a tag or an element, both are interchangeably used. You should note down those elements. So which are the tags we have seen now? HTML tag, head tag, title tag, and then body tag. Then there is one more tag called as the meta tag. So let us include the meta tag over here. Now there are two types of tags. One is a single tag and one is the normal tag. Single tag in the sense you don't have a closing tag for that one. It will be like this. I hope you are getting this. Normally, how will be the normal tag? Opening meta tag and then we have got the closing meta tag. But this is not the case as far as the single tags are concerned. Opening and closing will be here only. Yeah, opening and closing will be the same tag only. So that will be the meta tag. It's called as a single tag. I'm hope you followed this. So let us see. Meta tag is an empty element. Metadata tag, which is also called as meta element, can be used to name value pairs, uh, properties of the element, author, expiry date, list of keywords, etc. So what is the use of this tag is it gives the information about your HTML page, the HTML page which we are developing. We are giving the information to the browser and to the world, internet world, World Wide Web. So how do we give it? We use using what? The meta tag. It's an empty element and so does not have a closing tag. That's what we discussed. meta tags carry information within the attributes. So you need to forward slash at the end of the element. So we have done that one. So here there is something called as attribute. Each element or each tag has got its own attribute, a property. So here the meta tag has got four attributes or four properties. First one is name, content, scheme, and then HTTP equivalent. Four properties, basic properties. Apart from this, there are other properties. So meta tag is to be added between the head tags. Opening and closing head tags only we can add this meta tag, and then we can give the attributes of this name, content, scheme, and HTTP equivalent. So how to give this? Let us see. Now we have added the meta tag, which is inside the head tag, right? After the title also you can add, before the title also, but not inside the title. Then there are different properties. Now already there is some property. I'll just copy this and paste this here and see. I'll remove the added meta tag and paste this here. So here we can see meta tag we have added over here. It's a single tag. Closing tag will come over here only, and then we have added two attributes, name and then content. So what is name? We can give the value for the name, and then content we can give the value for this. So I'll just repeat this. So what is to be done? Meta tag, and then immediately close this. Now once you specify the name of the attribute, then name of the tag, then you can give the attribute. I'll give the syntax first. Attribute 1 is equal to its value space attribute. This is the syntax which you're supposed to follow. Is equal to value space. Let us call this as a second attribute. Then similarly you can have attribute n number of attributes you can have is equal to value. So whatever attributes which you have is specified over there. So I'll say like this. So you can give as many attributes as you want. This is the syntax which I'm giving. So what are the attributes we have seen? Meta. Then let me close this first. Yes. Then add the attribute. The first attribute that we have seen as in the syntax in line number 4, we'll see the example over here. First attribute is name. I'll just give some example over here. I'll give us name as GCC. So this is the first attribute. Then second attribute is content is equal to give as what? I can give any information, relevant information. I'm supposed to give information about college, right? So two attributes I have specified over there. Then there are other attributes also. Which are the other attributes? We can see here. First one is name, content, scheme, and then HTTP equivalent. Let us add those also here. If it is exceeding, I can take it to the next slide. So the moment you type, it starts suggesting scheme is equal to, you can give name of the scheme, and then next one is, see, the moment I type, it automatically comes HTTP equivalent is equal to some information. So these are the attributes of the meta tag. Okay. Line number 4 is the syntax. No need for this here. For understanding purpose, I had given this. Okay. Now let us come to this one. What is a meta tag or meta attribute? So meta tag or meta attribute is a metadata. As you all know, metadata is information about data. So what is our web page here? Our HTML page or web page is sample.html. So if we want to give information about this one. If the world wants to know what is this web page all about, search engine search this particular meta tag and find out what is this web page all about. That's the reason why Google and other search engines are able to give the context. So here what I'm giving is first include the meta tag and then give different attributes. Which are the four attributes? Primary attributes, metas, attributes of meta: name, content, scheme, and then HTTP equivalent. What this does is name. What is it's all about? GCC. I can give it as Gupta College of Commerce also, any relevant information, and then information about Gupta College. What it contains? Information about Gupta College. Scheme. What is the scheme? There are different types of schemes available. What is the type of the scheme? And then HTTP equivalent. We have got different types of information related to this particular web page, including when this web page was created, when it will expire. Every web page has got its own expiry, and then all the information can be given over there. Why this information is to be given? Because what search engines do is search engines check the meta tag of the web page, and then whatever information that is given in meta tag, that information it displays. So what happens is if I search Google and say GCC, then what Google does is it will not check the entire web page, not from line number 1 to 12. It will just go to the meta tag and check out the keywords which are there. So if I search GCC and if GCC is found here, then it will display this particular web page. Similarly, content also it checks information about Open College. So the moment the keywords are matched, this particular information is. So that is how the meta tag works. So let us check out now the theoretical part of this. Here, meta tag is to be added inside the head tag. It doesn't have a closing tag. Name is the attribute, first attribute. Again, Viva question. What are the attributes of the meta tag? First attribute is name. So any name you can give, keywords, description, author. See if the web page is about institution, you can give name of the institution. If the web page is about a particular person, you can give information. This is Vedugopal Jalihar's web page or something like that. Content. Then what does it contain? You can specify over here. Search engines check here. Scheme. What type of a scheme it is? And HTML equivalent. What is the cookie name, the expiry date, when it's this particular web page is going to expire, all those things you can specify over here. So you can see some of the examples here. I have given only that particular part. Head tag, meta, name is equal to keyword, content is equal to HTML, metadata. End of the head tag. Second example is you have got a head tag, closing head tag. Inside that one, you have got a meta tag, name, revised content, tutorials point, and then the year. Third example is head, meta, equivalent dot HTTP. Refresh content is equal to 10. You can give any content over. So these are the examples of a meta tag. Some more examples you can see here. So what are the attributes? Meta tag, name, content. Again, HTTP equivalent is one, content. Expires is another attribute which is there. So how do we add expires attribute here? Just simply after HTTP equivalent, you can just say give some space and then you can say expires is equal. You can specify the date. So as many attributes you want, you can add. But primarily, predominantly, there are four attributes. One is name, content, scheme, and then the HTTP equivalent. You can have expires also. Let's do this. Any doubts here? Yes.
No, sir.
Have you understood what is the use of the meta tag? A couple of points to remember here. Meta tag comes inside the head tag, outside the title tag, inside the head tag. It doesn't have a closing tag. It has got a opening and closing tag in the single tag itself. So meta and then you have got the closing. How do you do that? Slash and then end the tag. There are four primary attributes. First one is name, second one is content, then you have got scheme, and then HTTP equivalent. What do? They give information about this particular web page to the search engines. So name of this particular particular web page. What does this web page contain? That information is supposed to fill in here in brief keywords. Then what type of scheme it is, and then the HTTP equivalent. The technical details regarding what HTTP protocol is being used, what are the headers and all those things. Some other types, some other attributes are also there. They're called as expires. You can use that particular thing. So this will not be displayed on the web page. If I run this launch in Firefox, you can see here all the meta information that we have given will not be displayed. Only the information which we have given inside the body tag will be displayed. This is not for the display purpose on the browser. This is for the search engines to find out what information is there in this particular web page. I hope you followed this. Any doubts here? Any doubts
No,
here?
sir.
Shall I proceed? Yes. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then uh, there are some more tags which are there. Once you have understood this, here only will. Then there is directly giving information will not enough the text which we are displaying on the browser. Directly, if we display the text, it will not be in the proper format. So what we can do is there is one particular tag which is called as the paragraph tag. So we can use paragraph tag for this, for displaying the text. So we can see here the paragraph tag, and then we can have okay. Now let us remove this particular thing. The paragraph tag. The same thing I'll display here. Welcome to HTML. The paragraph tag. So what does this do is it gives a proper formatting to our content which we are displaying. So this launch this one. So you can see here, welcome to HTML, how it is displayed. I'll give the same thing here without a paragraph. Go to our browser and refresh this. You can see without paragraph, with paragraph, it will remove as it is for this example. But it definitely does carry a difference over. So a couple of examples let me show over here. Then there is another tag which is called as the header tag. So there are about 6 headers which we are going to use. So take this one only. Welcome to HTML. Now you only see the output and tell me what is the difference, right? Now we have saved this and then launch this in our Firefox. Are you able to see the difference now?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference? One I have given in paragraph tag. The first one. Second one I have given in a tag called as H1. So what is the difference here? You can easily make out the font size is bigger and then you have got
Sir, H1 is an heading.
yes, H1 is a heading and then the difference is what? Normal paragraphs you'll get a normal text, whereas H1 you'll get a bold text and then with a higher this one what font size. Now there are headings from H1 to H6 with different variable sizes. So I'll just notice the changes which I'm making here. First one is H1. So what I'll do is put this as H2. This also H2. H3. Okay. This also H3. H4. H4 and paragraph are elements or tags. Remember this, there is a difference between tag and a attribute. Every tag has got its its own attribute and its own properties. H5. Then we have got, let's name this as H6. And I'll name this also as H6. You can see the output and find out how this one, and I'll just go to the program and then I'll refresh this. You can see over here. So H1 is highest, H6 is the lowest one. So if I change this to what? I'll make this as H7. H7. Go to the code and refresh this. See, H7 doesn't exist over there. Only up to H6. So this won't work. Only up to H6. Understood this? Any doubts here? Yes?
No, sir.
Yeah. So remember the tags, and I'll just repeat those tags. Which are the tags which we have learned today? First one is the meta tag. Why do we use meta tag? We give some metadata information about our page, which will not be displayed on the browser. 4 attributes. First one is name, content, scheme, and HTTP equivalent. And apart from these 4, other attributes are also there, but these 4 are the important attributes. This gives information about the web page which we are developing. Then we saw the paragraph tag. The paragraph tags are something which wherein we display a text in the form of a paragraph. If it is not there, it will not be displayed in the form of a paragraph. Normal text will be displayed. So for example, what I'll do is copy the contents which we had in the previous this one. And go to our what I do is I paste this text as it is. See here, pasted some random text as it is here, which is not inside the paragraph. Save this. Display this. You can see how the text is displayed over here. What I'll do is the same text include inside the paragraph tag, opening paragraph tag, and then here closing paragraph tag. So let us check out if there is any difference here in this case. No much difference because the text will display as it is until and unless we do formatting it, and formatting is not possible without the paragraph tag. If you directly display the text, you cannot format it, but if you display the text inside the paragraph, then we can format. We'll see how it is to be, how it can be formatted. Okay, I have saved this. Not saved yet. So save this now. Refresh this. You can see the text is gone over there. Come back to our text, and then we have included this. Let us see what are the next points. Then there are different attributes of HTML. Now there are 2 things which are supposed to be remembered. There are 4 attributes which are there. Each attribute has got 2 things. One is the property and then its value. Attribute and its value. That's what this particular attribute is. Name of the attribute and then the value of the attribute. So there are 4 different attributes which are there. ID, title, class, and style. So ID, title, class, and style. So here we can see what we'll do is for the time being the headers. I'll remove this for understanding purpose. Can you see the paragraph tag here? Right? I hope everybody is able to see the paragraph tag. Now, each tag, each element has got an attribute or a property. So let us go to the paragraph tag, and then the attribute or the property is to be given in the opening tag only. We cannot give in the closing tag. So go to the opening paragraph tag, and then here you can give attribute. Now we have already seen some attributes here. Name attribute, content attribute, scheme attribute, HTTP equivalent attribute, but these are the attributes of meta tag only. These attributes cannot be used for the other tags. For other tags, these are the attributes, which are those ID, title, class, and style. Again, title might be confusing because you have got a title tag also and title as an attribute also. If you give title like this, it becomes a tag. If you give title inside this, it becomes a tag. So we'll give something like this. ID is equal to some ID we are giving. Now you have got ID card. Similarly, we'll give ID is equal to 1. Hope you're understanding this. Now I'll copy this. I'll paste this once again. If ID is equal to 2. So here, in this case, what is happening is ID is one particular attribute or a property of this particular paragraph tag. How to add a property? I'll once again repeat here. So we are going to add a property in the opening tag of that particular element. The opening paragraph tag and closing paragraph tag together become the element. Listen to this very carefully. You can see here, opening paragraph tag, closing paragraph tag, and the content between opening and closing paragraph tag all together become an element. So if we want to give an attribute, then what we are supposed to do is go to the opening tag and then specify the attribute. And then now here ID is the name of the attribute. 1 is the value of the attribute. Again, we can give the same this one. ID is the name of the attribute. 2 is the value of the attribute. Hope you got this point, understood this. Remaining part
Yes.
will continue in the next class tomorrow at 9:30. Can I enter your attendance in case if you have any doubts, please ask. Similarly, I'll enter the other properties also here for the understanding purpose. What is the second? This one, you have got class. Second attribute is class. Again, you can give any value to this. So what I'll do is say this as the second. Then we have got the third attribute is style. So you can just find out where the attribute is to be given. Some value is to be given. We'll see what value is to be given. So like this, ID, class, style, and the fourth attribute is title. So you can give title also over here. So the fourth attribute is title. So we'll just stop here, and then in the next class we'll continue. So these are the 4 attributes which we have given. I'll just remove the repetition. These are the 4 attributes that we have given. If you have any doubts, just note it. We'll continue in the next.